está?
Bien, bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Sí, así.
Oh, good.
Hey, I was waiting for one of you guys to chime in with a different language.
I took French too. It does absolutely no good in 90% of situations. So, yes. Only use it once in Switzerland. That was it. Total waste. My parents did warn me. I did not listen to them.
You just decided to take that.
I was like, everybody else is taking Spanish. I gotta be different. Dumb. Don't let a 14-year-old. Dumbest thing I ever did. My entire life, I took it all the way through college. Still know nothing. Because you never use it. Why didn't I take Spanish
Yeah,
or
especially
Chinese?
here in Arizona. That would help you out a lot.
In Texas,
Yeah,
hello.
he was good
I was
there,
like,
too.
oh my God, I'm an idiot. If you could tell your younger self one thing, take Spanish. Shut up and listen to your parents.
That's the one thing you would tell yourself?
Yeah, that is probably top of list.
Wow.
You know, but it's like, it is different though, taking it in school, because I think it's better to have the whole real world experience, like
100%.
going
Yeah.
over there to where they use the language, because my parents knew Spanish or no Spanish, and when we'd come home and do the homework, they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, help me. They're like, we can't.
Yeah. Well, it's the way that like the courses are structured too. I took it all the way through middle school, high school, and college.
Wow.
I could pass Spanish vocab exam, no problem, but I couldn't really have a conversation.
Like
with
real
you.
life.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's one of those things that if I had been able to take my knowledge of the words and then go live
Yeah.
somewhere for
Yeah,
like
that's
6
great.
months or
Immersion.
something, I'd be great. But that's the problem now is like I can't. Like that was the extent of the conversation that I can have.
That's it.
Basically.
We topped it out.
Okay, so hey, there's a tip for you for the day.
There
For
you
your
go.
kids?
Yep, listen to your parents.
Yes. Right.
That's the inspirational quote of the day.
We do have a subject though that we're supposed
real
to be
subject, yes.
speaking on here, and
Do it.
some of you are already chiming in on it. And the question is, how long does it take to text somebody back? And this is definitely
dun.
been controversial over the years. We're asking because etiquette experts are deciding once and for all how long you can wait before replying to someone's text
I hate
message.
those 3 dots.
Yeah,
Stress me out.
that's the problem. Apple needs to get rid of that.
Yes.
Like, they need to get rid of that. I don't understand that point. They say if you don't respond after 24 hours, you are officially being rude. And then you've missed the window. And then if you have missed the window, they're offering like a suggestion. You should, have an apology. with
I
your
do kind of do
response.
that because I do forget. And then I'm like, oh my God, sorry, I just
Yeah.
remembered this.
Especially if you work different hours than the norm. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know we'll
Yeah.
get texts
I'm very
in the
guilty.
evening, right? Dinner time. And then when we see it, so my biggest thing is then I see it at 1 a.m. when I wake up.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm not going to respond then and wake everyone up. So then I
Right.
wait and then I forget.
I totally do that all the time.
I love you all, but I'm sorry. I forget.
No, I forget, and then sometimes days go by because it gets
Yes.
down further
Yeah.
in your little
And you
text
totally-
feed.
Yes.
And I'll have a friend be like, hello, I do this 2 days ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to text you at 3 a.m.
Well, for our hours, so one time a friend texted me late, like at 10, and then I responded back, I think at 5 in the morning. And, we were during a break here, and he was like, sorry I texted you so late. Like, he knew. So I'm like, I'm going to text you early if you're going to
It's a
text
nice
me
subtle
late.
way to
Yeah.
be like, don't text me at 10 p.m.
You know I'm asleep.
I live on Do Not Disturb, though, so
Yeah.
I have the scheduled one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it was just, the problem is when you get on a group text and they're making plans and it's like going into, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot have these things buzzing me all night. So.
I put him on silent.
I don't like this 24-hour thing. I feel
You
like
think it's
that's,
too
I feel like
long?
that's too long.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't
For normal people,
necessarily
I feel like
think
it's
that
too
it
long.
means you're being rude. You just have other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like, people's lives are busy.
Or what if you're like Leslie, where, say there's something in it that you need to digest or check on, like somebody's maybe saying, hey, how about a lunch date on this day or whatever, and you got to go look at your schedule or something. She says it takes her days or even a week to respond sometimes. She sees it, reads it, sometimes needs to digest and then return with a message. So
Then I think you have to
depends
Well, then you
say,
can say
let
it.
me check the calendar
Check it,
and get
yeah.
back to, you have to respond something, right?
Yeah.
Ideally.
I guess that would be the...
Well, what's the opposite, though? Like, what do you think when, like Jennifer, she said, I'm an instant responder. So I think some people get weirded out, too, when you, respond back within 2 seconds.
No, I think it depends on the situation in that one. Like there's a very big difference between texting somebody who's like your really good friend, texting somebody who you're not really close with at all and you don't care, and then texting somebody who you're potentially dating.
Dating, yeah.
Because potentially dating is one of those things
What's
where
dating
people
text
actually
etiquette?
hang on, they see that triple dot and they're like, ooh, they're texting me, and then it goes away and you're like,
Disappears.
what's going on?
You're like, wait, what were you going to say?
Probably got
Tell me.
distracted, yeah.
No.
Yeah, Courtney
Which is
and
Go ahead. I have a
Courtney and Em
suggestion
are
for
saying
that.
an hour because we are like attached to our phones.
Yeah.
So
You clearly saw it.
Right.
Like 24
Because isn't
hours
that the worst
is too
when
long.
you know that the person has read it? That's a whole like read receipt debate. It's like you know the person has read it and they've just chosen not to respond back
Yeah.
in a timely fashion. At that point, I think an hour or so. Right?
How many
2
people
hours,
go
sometimes you're at the
24
gym.
hours without picking up their phone?
Nobody.
Like nobody. That's why that time frame to me doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
It is kind of rude to wait 24 hours, I think, for sure. Because it's like, okay, you couldn't take 2 seconds, you know.
At least say I'm thinking about it. Get back to you in a second.
Well, what that says is that whether you think it's rude or not, is what it says is the person who would be responding doesn't know what to say. Maybe you've asked them a question that like kind of puts them in an awkward situation, and they're like, I don't know.
think on this.
I got
have
nothing.
To think about it. So really, what that does, it doesn't say that you're rude. It just says that the question you asked or the thing you said is clearly a problem for that other person. Like I can think of times when it's like someone would text me like, or we, what about something like you forgot to get back to them or whatever, and then they text you again, and you're like,
I know.
I don't know what to say. Like that to me it should show to the other person that if you don't get a response right away, that it's like, okay, well, I might need to back off because that's not something that's good for them.
Like in a dating scenario when the guy's like, hey, do you want me to go to dinner with me? And then you wait.
Yeah, look, here's the thing. I hate to break this to you ladies, but like if the guy is into you, he'll text you back
Oh, yeah, for
real
sure.
soon.
I tell
if
my
he
friends that
doesn't
all the
text you
time.
back real soon,
Yeah.
it's like the movie. He's just not that into you.
into
It's just the way it is. If he doesn't text you back right away, he is not that into you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news
It's the
here.
truth. Say
but
it,
it's
Ryan.
absolutely the truth.
I totally believe
That's what I say all the time. I'm
But-
like, if he is into you, he will pursue
Yes,
you.
you will
Yes.
know.
You will
It
know.
will be
But-
obvious.
But Valerie says her friend is single and hates texting a guy back right away because she thinks it's desperate.
Yes.
Yeah, you
I'm
do-
talking
there
about
is some-
guys.
yeah,
I'm talking,
women.
So it's totally.
No, I'm talking
Yeah.
specifically
Different
about
rules.
guys.
Okay.
Women, you have to play the game a little bit, right? You got to wait. You can't respond immediately if they're like, you want to go out.
If the girl is like immediately texting back,
It's weird.
and like 2 or 3 text messages, and the guy you're like, okay, probably want to cool that one down a little bit. That's too much.
It's
so
a
that
fine line.
there is a balance involved there.
There's so many rules to this. Like, it's just so
Yes.
crazy, you know? Like,
rules.
can you just be real? I got to think about it for a minute and be like,
The game
Well, but here's the
playing.
thing: if both parties are into each other just as much, then there are no rules. Then you text back right away, you text as much as you want, and then it doesn't matter. The only
True,
time that
true.
ever matters is if there's one person that's kind of teetering on the idea of, do I like this person a lot? Do I not? Because then you're almost looking for reasons to not like somebody. I hate to say that as well, but there's always like, if somebody's not wholeheartedly into it, then they're always looking for something. Something that they can be like, well, she kind of seems like a clinger. You know what I mean? But if you really, really like that girl, you would never think she was a clinger.
Right,
That's just the
right.
way it is. You'd be excited.
But someone's going to be more into it than the other person. That's just the nature of dating.
well, that's my whole thing. So, to the dating thing, because you brought this up. But when I tell people, they're like, why are you still single? I'm like, because when I like someone a lot, they don't like me a lot. And then when they like me a lot, I don't like them a lot. I said, so when do 2 people come together where you like each other the same? And then, like, obviously it works because people get married. I mean, so it's like, when does that happen? How does that happen? Like, I don't get it. Or is it just more difficult these days now because of social media and dating apps and everybody's looking for something else, or the grass is always greener,
I think it's all of the above.
I would say timing is everything.
Timing.
Timing is everything. Because you might have someone that does really like you, and you might, at a different time in your life, might have liked them too. And certain set of experience happen, and it's hard to say without looking at a specific situation, but timing is everything.
I do agree with that because I was talking to my mom actually about this yesterday because we were talking about dating, and that there was a guy back in the day that was amazing, perfect, like great, checked all the boxes, super nice, but I just wasn't ready. Like I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to settle down, and so I had to he even wanted to, it was like a long distance thing. He was going to start a business here and come here. He's like, I will do this if you want to move forward. And I was like, I can't do it. So I freaked out.
Yeah.
And then I look back on it now and I'm like, oh.
See the one that got away?
Yes.
But you look at that situation though, Vanessa, and you say to yourself, like, if he hadn't come out and been like, I'm going to move my business to Arizona and I'm going to go all in on this, and he took it a little slower, would you have maybe been a little more interested at the time? Or was
get
that a
scared.
turnoff? Did that scare you?
I think I probably got a little
You
scared.
got spooked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like I would say like on, dates you've ever been on and the other person's like, I really want to get married and have kids right away, and it's usually like, whoa, hey, calm down, and like you might have been really into that date at that point, but when that person goes like all in,
yeah.
you're slowly backing up into your seat,
Yeah.
and that's why I say timing is everything, because you get to a certain point where that person shows up at the date and they put their cards on the table and they say, I want to get married and have kids like in the next year, like ASAP, and if you're ready, you're ready.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready, then you're going to be slowly backing up into your chair.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah,
about
get
timing.
scared, start thinking. Yep.
I know.
Gosh, dating's so hard.
It is hard.
Dating sucks. Like, no, it really does. Dating sucks.
Gosh.
It is. It's just.
John says he'd text you back in seconds.
Oh, thanks, John.
But then she might get spooked.
Leslie's saying if you expect a text, like if it's that important that you need to be answered back so quickly on a text, then call.
Yeah.
Call instead.
Richard said the same thing. He said, what happened to the days when you would pick up the phone and call someone? Texting always gets misconstrued. That's true.
Texting does
I
get
hate phone
misconstrued.
calls,
Yep.
Yeah.
just in general.
Diana said, dating is harder now and maybe people expect too much. When it's right, it's right. Thanks for the advice there.
Yeah. And the thing about dating that's tough with texting is it's really hard to tell tone via text.
Oh,
A lot
yeah.
is inferred.
And they always have time to respond. So I know we're talking about time to respond, but here's a little tip. What the kids are doing these days
What?
is they are seeing your text and they're going into their notes. And then they're responding in the note, because then that triple dot does not come up. And they can take all the time they want and respond in the note and come up with a perfect response.
And then copy and paste
craft
it.
exactly what it is,
It
copy
now
and paste it.
you can arrow it up to message the note.
Isn't it easier just
learned
to
that.
turn that off in your phone? You can turn that off.
You
right?
can?
Yeah, I
Wait,
thought
I
you
don't
can-
know.
you
I
can
don't
turn
think you
that
can
off?
turn that part off.
I thought you could turn the little dots
Oh, I
in the
didn't
part
know
that
that.
says it's red or not. Like I thought I
The
saw
red
that.
part you can, but
receipts,
not
yeah,
the
but not
dot
the
that's
triple
saying
dot.
that you're
Oh,
texting
not the
back.
dot part.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. That's
Tell
interesting.
us if you know if you can do this.
I have actually heard from several people that that's how they do it. That's not something I ever dealt with, but it was
what the kids do
genius.
these
That's what the kids
And
are
that's
doing.
only a iPhone thing, right? Because I can't tell when
Yeah, it's only an iPhone
Android
thing.
people that I know
believe so.
are texting me. There's no dots.
We got two dating stories compared. So Priscilla said, my husband and I were friend zoned for 7 years before we got together, but then everything moved fast. Not everyone has that much investment time, but friend zone gets a bad rap. But she said everything worked out for them. And then Robert said, I moved here from Tennessee to meet a woman, and that's what happened to me. I think it freaked her out. Mm-hmm. And that was it.
Yeah.
It does.
Kind of like the cold
get it.
feet, like you're getting
Yeah.
married, right?
I get it. And they might, you got to let it incubate a little bit. People are at a certain period of their life. It's just
But
how
you
I
don't
feel.
know. Sometimes you don't know.
No, you don't know, but you should. The age definitely matters, in my opinion. I mean, as a guy, like guys just mature slower. We do,
That's so
and so
true.
like when a girl is ready to settle down and get married, and say, everybody's different, but I'm just spitballing here from my personal
Yeah.
experience. If at like 22, 23 years old, a girl is like, I'm ready to get married, then like
not
that
me.
girl could be perfect, but I'm probably backing off.
Yeah, if you're not ready.
Because I'm just not ready. And as we've spoken about before on this show, I just don't think it's ever right to lead somebody on if you're not on the same page as them. So I just think it's all about timing. I don't know how we got on the whole timing thing, because
Well,
this is
timing
text
about how to
messaging.
text them. Yeah, because that's part of the dating world these days,
Yeah.
too. Like responding back to a person,
When's the
what does
right
it mean? Like, so then that's how that came
Yeah, it's a balancing act. But throw it out there. I mean, that's the biggest thing that texting has kind of ended for us, is the ability to just have a face-to-face conversation, or even on the phone conversation, where you can literally, you say something and you can judge how somebody's feeling based on how they react in the moment, immediately. Text messaging takes all of that out of the equation,
You just don't know.
because that person gets all the time in the world they want, or at least 24 hours apparently.
Todd said, I hate being ignored. What if I want to ask a friend to go to a baseball game or an event and then they don't respond and they take a week and then it's like a week later? That's BS, because they're trying to invite
That
you.
is very rude, because then you could have invited somebody else who
Yeah.
can go and have fun with them.
They're not that interested in going, Todd. Sorry.
I know.
It's rude. They should just tell you that.
Todd,
Say, hey,
you're
I can't.
100%
Maybe
right.
next time.
Be like,
But-
pass, thanks for offering.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Go ask somebody else who maybe wants to go more.
But actions speak louder than words in that situation. So if you don't say anything, then that tells you everything you need to know, unfortunately. people are seeing their phones these days.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
it's
don't.
like the
I mean,
first
we're
thing
just
they
like how
see when
many
they
times
wake up, and
do
like
you check in a day?
Yeah.
We do those stories all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, most people grab their phone. That's the first thing they grab when they wake up in the morning, right?
Last thing they do when they go to
Plus,
bed.
it's got the alarm on it.
And it has the alarm.
Exactly.
Turn it off
All
and then
8
what have I
alarms.
missed?
Should we do it in case you missed it?
Do it.
Let's
Do it.
Now it's time for our juicy question and answer of the morning. So about 3/4 of Americans say they can do this for 1 minute before they give up. What is this? Let's check in with your tweets and text messages. This is what I said. Annie said, hold their breath.
It's a good guess.
Ooh, a plank.
Ah,
And then Ashley from Flagstaff says jump rope.
something fitness related.
The answer?
Call waiting. Can you hold for a sec? Hold on, I really want to talk to you.
Sure.
Hello?
To stay on hold?
Oh my! You don't even want to know how long I've stayed on hold before.
That's wild to me because rarely, if you're on hold, are you ever on hold for less than a minute.
Yeah.
Right. And then I just put it on speaker, and then, I'm doing other things around the house.
Yeah.
So.
Oh gosh, sometimes it's been horrible. I've probably stayed on hold almost 45 minutes.
Right. And then
Yes.
you forget that you're on hold.
I'm like, I have to get it. I have to get it done. I got to get through.
You're running back into the room like, stay there, stay there, stay there.
I like that they
alive.
give you the option to have them call you back.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. But they
Always
always
take
call
that.
you back at the most inopportune
Oh.
times.
You're like at the movies or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
You're sitting here. and
Jumped in the shower. Things.
I'm always nervous that they won't call me back, like if I choose that
Oh,
option.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just
Yes.
going to sit here and wait.
They're pretty good about it. I don't know that that's ever happened to me where they didn't call back. But yeah, you're right. They call back at the time that you're not.
You're never ready. It's like you just jumped in the shower or just starting work or whatever. It's always a bad time.
Yeah. This was the perfect juicy question, by the way.
Yeah, it was
today.
great.
Yeah, it was really good. Because
been there.
the best juicy questions always have like that hint of sexual undertone like, right off the bat. I'm not going to go there. You saw the question. You can probably guess what that undertone is, but it never actually comes to fruition that has anything to do with
Always
the
a
guess.
G answer.
Yeah, but you should hear us during the commercial break.
Oh my gosh, yeah, our guesses are.
Yeah, they're not G-rated.
We always go exactly to where you think we should go. And then when the red light turns on, we're like, probably
yes.
doing a plank.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, every
totally.
once in a while it'll slip up on my IG, right? Because I post the
Yeah.
juicy question on my Instagram every day, and so Ryan will like shout something in the back, and I'm like, "Oh, you said this!" and
You went
it's on there.
We gotta play the game. I have the game. It's called Dirty Minds. It's the same thing where it's totally a clean answer, but it doesn't sound clean when you give the
That's
answer.
probably where they're getting these questions from.
That's a great idea. They need to go get that game.
Love it. All right. Should we do now? We should do Vanessa.
Oh, is it our fresh squeezed juice?
It is.
All right, move over, Kale. Mushrooms are now the trendiest produce at the grocery store. Sales are at an all-time high, so high that farmers are afraid there could be a shortage in mushrooms. Experts say the demand comes from more people moving to a plant-based
Oh my gosh,
diet.
yes.
There are also several trendy products like mushroom tea and coffee that promise more health benefits.
A lot of
So
vitamin D there.
Everybody I know is doing a plant-based diet right now.
that's so true. I went to eat tacos yesterday with my friends, and my girlfriend's vegan, and she had a mushroom taco. She goes, "This is amazing! You guys should try it!" And she was all about it.
But then is the tortilla?
And well, though this time she did it. It was a lettuce
Oh, okay.
wrap.
I was gonna say.
That's a salad. That's not.
It was a lettuce, and then they put the mushroom in there with some cheese or whatever she had in there. I don't know.
That's not a taco. That's a salad.
and you can't have cheese either because cheese is.
Maybe it wasn't cheese. I don't know. It was something else.
So
But-
Vanessa, no, your
not
story. Your friend is a faker. She's a fake vegan.
I had ground
Nothing
beef in
with
mine.
the mom.
What?
Nothing with a mom. That's like the rule for how you like chickens have a mom, cows have a mom. It's like it's this plant-based or vegan. Supposedly the rule of thumb is like nothing you can eat. You can't eat anything that has a mother.
I never heard
That's how I
that.
remember.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That's a little nugget for you. Why don't you use that as your inspirational quote for the day?
Yeah, I'm charged today with doing the
Eat
quote of the day.
nothing that has a mother.
Nothing that
And then
has a
just, you can source me.
But how are we going to relate it to journalism?
Nothing.
That has to be related.
It just
to
makes
journalism.
people
Well, that
think.
mushroom sales are. We might have a
Yeah.
shortage of mushrooms.
It's
And
topical.
yeah.
Just put my
I'm
name.
going to be asked to do a different one if I do that, so I might as well just get it right the first time.
Just get it out there.
A little background in our editorial meeting, someone has to come up with a quote of the day every morning. So I think I already have the one I'm going to use, but that would be
And the word of the day is Luthery.
Luthery.
Yes.
So what does it mean? We never discussed that. Is it
Well,
like
if
a
you were to look it
guitar
up in the dictionary exactly, I'm not sure. But the school of Luthery is guitar making. The Roberto
So it must
Venn
be
School of
guitar
Luthery.
making.
Guitar making, yeah.
Luthery. We learned it because there's an I in
There's
there.
an I in there.
Yeah.
So we
It's
thought
not
it was
Luthieri.
Luthieri. Yes, but Crystal corrected
There's no
us.
we in Luthery. There's
No.
an I in Luthery.
And once again, I looked like a total moron on television.
But I liked how you were just transparent and real. You were like, oh, okay, how do you say this?
Rachel's like, he got to read.
So
I
you're
saw-
saying that I was being real by being a moron? Like that's actually letting people
Stay
into my
true to
life?
self. I know, because I saw it when I proofread it early, and I was like, oh, it's his
I'm not
read.
gonna
Forget,
tell
I'm not even going to bother. Look that one up. And I forgot to warn him.
Yeah, I don't have time to read any
Hung you out
scripts.
to dry.
That's why I look like an idiot all the time. Sorry.
It is hard to do that. Like even right now, just a little bit of fresh squeezed juice. I've never read that script, so I'm like, okay, what does it say?
It happens sometimes.
You know?
Hey, we really hope that you guys have a wonderful day. We're going to be in the mid-80s today, right, Crystal?
Beautiful.
Warmest day of the year yet. And it's only going to
Right.
get warmer tomorrow. And tomorrow is Friday.
I keep thinking today's Wednesday.
I think I'm going to the pool tomorrow. 86?
it.
Right? Why not?
Go to a spring.